friends, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about not your typical dragon and talking about some vocabulary words in our story. Vocabulary are words that are big and you might not understand. So we're going to be exploring some of those words. There's 6 words we're going to be talking about today. The first word is typical. Can you say the word typical? Good job. The next word is destroy. What word? Excellent. The third word is considered. What word? Wonderful. The next word is diet. What word? Great job. The fifth word is relieved. What word? Wow, look at you guys go. You're rock stars saying these words. The last word is singed. What word? Excellent. Those 6 words are in our story, and we're going to read our story today, and we're going to be using our ears to listen for those vocabulary words. When we hear those words, we're going to try and figure out what they mean. Are you ready to get started? Great. So let's remember, this is the front of our story, and the title of our story is Not Your Typical Dragon. And here's our author, Dan Bartel. Author, he's the person that wrote the words in our story. And then our illustrator is Tim Bowers. Remember, our illustrator is the person who draws our pictures. So let's go ahead and get started. Remember, we're listening for 6 words. Typical, destroy, considered, diet, relieved, and singed. Let's listen. Oh, I got to get to the first page though. All right, here we go. Crispin Blaze was born into a proud family of fire-breathing dragons. Every blaze breathes fire, explained his father. I breathe fire. Your mother breathes fire. Tomorrow, when you turn 7, you will breathe fire too. The little dragon imagined all the forests he would burn down. He dreamed of the castles he would destroy. He also considered boiling water to make tea, but he didn't tell his father that. I heard our first word. Did you hear it? It was destroy. Let me read that sentence again. The little dragon imagined all the forests he would burn down. He dreamed of all the castles he would destroy. Let's use a picture clue. Look at our picture. He said he would picture all of the castles he would destroy. What do you think destroy means? Ooh, that's a good answer. To destroy means something is completely ruined. And if I look at that whole building is on fire. That means we aren't going to be able to go into that castle anymore. That castle is destroyed. It's completely ruined. Good job hearing that vocabulary word. The next day, Crispin sat among family and friends as a cake was brought to the table. Who will light the birthday candles? His mother asked. I will, declared Crispin. He could feel a tingling inside his tummy. But when he opened his mouth, fire did not come out. Whipped cream came out. Crispin, shouted his father. Dragons breathe fire. What will the neighbors think? Worried his mother. I love whipped cream, said his little sister Ashley. The little dragon was whisked off to the doctor the very next day. Please fix my son, demanded Crispin's father. What seems to be the problem? Asked the doctor. Crispin opened his mouth and breathed, but fire did not come out. Band-Aids came out. I see, said the doctor gravely. Dragons should breathe fire, insisted Crispin's father. Well, we were low on band-aids, mumbled the nurse. The doctor sent Crispin home with medicine. He swallowed 2 teaspoons before going to school. It will help you become a real dragon, said his father with a wink. After school, Crispin joined his first fire-breathing practice. One by one, little dragons aimed their fiery breath at stacks of logs until they burst into flames. Crispin stepped up confidently. He could feel the medicine bubbling in his belly. But when he opened his mouth, fire did not come out. Marshmallows came out. Dragons breathe fire, yelled the coach. Isn't that right, class? The other dragons didn't answer. They were too busy looking for pointy sticks for marshmallow roasting. I guess I'm not a real dragon, Crispin thought. He worried that his family would be disappointed. So he ran away from home. Look at how sad Crispin looks. I don't think Crispin really wanted to run away from home. The world can be a scary place for a little dragon who can't breathe fire. Crispin found a dark cave. I'll be a fireless dragon all by myself. I won't bother anyone, and no one will bother me. An hour later, he had a visitor. I am Sir George, squeaked a thin, shiny knight. Show yourself, dragon! Crispin shuffled out of the cave. The thin, shiny knight held up his thin, shiny sword. Do your worst, dragon! Crispin opened his mouth, but fire did not come out. Soap bubbles came out. Don't you breathe fire, dragon? Crispin shook his head. I can't. Sir George moaned. But my father insists that I fight a fire-breathing dragon. It even says here in my book that your typical dragon breathes fire. I'm not your typical dragon, Crispin explained. Sir George sighed. I can't go home. Me neither, Crispin nodded. But Benny had an idea. Maybe your book could tell us what to do. Now I heard it. Did you hear our vocabulary word? It says, let me rewind. Miss Yakas is having trouble with that sentence. Ready? It even says here in my book that your typical dragon breathes fire. And then Crispin says, I'm not your typical dragon. So let's see if we can make a connection here. Typical. In his book, it says that the typical dragon breathes fire. Typical means it's the way you think it's supposed to happen. We think that dragons are supposed to breathe fire. Dragons breathe fire in movies. Dragons breathe fire in other stories that we read. But in this story, it's not happening the way it's supposed to. Dragons are supposed to breathe fire. And in this story, Crispin sure breathes a lot of different things. Soap bubbles, whipped cream, Band-Aids. So it's not typical. So typical means acting the way they think they're supposed to. Wow, good job hearing that vocabulary word. Are you ready to listen for some more? There's 4 more words yet. Of course, Sir George searched through the pages. It says it's probably your diet. Sir George fed Crispin spicy curry, scorching chili, and blistering salsa. Crispin opened his mouth, but fire did not come out. Red party streamers came out. At least they're the right color, said Sir George kindly. Wait a minute. I know, I heard you. Did you hear one of our vocabulary words? We heard the word diet. Let's read it again. Of course, said Sir George, searching through the pages. It says it's probably just your diet. And then Sir George fed. That means Crispin had to eat it. He had to eat spicy curry. He had to eat scorching chili. And he had to eat blistering salsa. So diet has to do with, what do you think it has to do with? You're right. Diet has to do with the food that we eat. And in this story, he ate really spicy, hot food. And then what happened? Red party streamers. They came out red like something that's hot and on fire. So maybe it's not his diet. Maybe it's not the food he's eating. Good job hearing that word. Sir George searched through the book again. Aha! It says it's probably your attitude. Sir George showed Crispin how to look mean and angry enough to breathe fire. Crispin opened his mouth, but fire did not come out. Soft, cuddly teddy bears came out. Said Sir George. We may have taken a step backwards. It's no use, sighed Crispin. I'm just not your typical dragon. There's that word again, typical. Remember, Crispin saying, I'm just not like other ones. I don't breathe fire. But Sir George wasn't ready to give up yet. Aha! It says the book says you're too stressed. Sir George made Crispin close his eyes while he described a quiet, relaxing day at the beach. Do you feel calm? Now imagine 100 shiny knights attacking you. Crispin opened his mouth, but fire did not come out. Beach balls came out. Well, that's just plain weird. Beach balls came out because he was thinking about the beach. I don't know if that's weird. Secretly, Sir George was glad that Crispin couldn't breathe fire. He liked the little dragon and didn't want to fight him. Crispin liked the shiny knight too, but he missed his parents. Sir George, it's getting dark. I want to go home. The shiny knight patted him on the back. Don't worry, little dragon. I'll take you. Crispin's parents were relieved when he arrived home safely. Sir George was about to say goodbye when they heard a shout. There you are, boy! Why on earth are you playing with a fire-breathing dragon? He's my friend, Father, whispered Sir George. And besides, he doesn't breathe fire. What? I see you raising that hand. You're right. We had another vocabulary word. It's right here. Crispin's parents were relieved when he arrived home safely. Look at his parents. They're smiling, relieved. It means they're no longer worried. They're no longer angry. They're glad that Crispin is home and that Crispin is home safe. Imagine if your parents couldn't find you. They would be so relieved when they found you and you were home safe. So, relieved means that you're not worried anymore and you're not angry. Again, look how happy his parents are to have him home. But you know what? I don't think that Sir George's dad is very happy. A dragon that doesn't breathe fire? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. The shiny man laughed. Crispin's father stormed out of the house. My son isn't silly. He may not breathe fire, but I certainly do. Crispin's father let out a spray of flames. Look at that spray of flames. "Do your worst, dragon," declared the shiny man. But then the flames scorched the lawn. "That's enough, honey," said Crispin's mother, and right there you can see it scorched the lawn. The flames ignited the roof. Crispin's father panicked. "I can't stop breathing fire." "You've made your point, dear. Now stop showing off," she scolded. The flames singed the fence. "You'll burn our house down," cried his mother. "You'll burn down the whole neighborhood." Dragons came running from all directions. They knew how to start fires, but no one knew how to stop them. Crispin suddenly felt a tingling in his tummy. He felt a bubbling in his belly. He opened his mouth, but fire did not come out. Hey, you're right. We had another vocabulary word on that page. The word was singed. The flames singed the fence. So let's see. Look at the picture. We see the scorched lawn and we see the singed fence. You're right. Singed means burned a little. And look at that fence is definitely singed. It's definitely burned a little. Great job hearing that word, my friends. Now let's get ready to find out what happened. Crispin's dad can't stop breathing fire, and Crispin's got a tingling in his tummy, and a gush of water shot out. Crispin aimed the water at his father's flames. He saved his home, and he even saved the shiny man, who wasn't looking so shiny anymore. "Hooray for Crispin!" everyone shouted. On Crispin's next birthday, there was a big party. Family and friends came from all over the land. Sir George and his family came too. Lots of dragons were dancing. Crispin stood with his mouth open wide. The fire still did not come out. Music came out instead. "Your son," said an old uncle to Crispin's father. "He's not your typical dragon, is he?" "No," replied Crispin's father proudly. "My son is something special." I love that picture. It's got Crispin with all of the music coming out of his mouth. And then he jumped up and danced to Crispin's music too. I love that ending to our story. And I love that you were able to hear with your ears, you were able to hear the vocabulary words that we were working on. And together we were able to figure out what they mean. So now you get to go work on your activity in Seesaw. See if you can remember what our vocabulary words meant. I'll see you soon. Bye.